Only the skin ages. The soul is eternal and young. Only the skin ages. Scrub it away with the sands of magical Teopan, where the secrets are held in safekeeping by the gods of the universe. They say a man who works with his hands is a laborer. A man who works with his hands and head is a craftsman. And a man who works with his hands, head, and heart is an artist.
Fantástico! Esto es extraordinario!
Step inside the very curious mind of Gianfranco Brignone as he creates one of his most cherished works and discover his artistic soul along the way. Many believe that we create our own reality, but few can say that they successfully rule the reality that they have created. Fewer still have created worlds where they reside with such joy, purpose, and meaning. And only a handful manage to create worlds that will live on well beyond their lifetime. Gianfranco Brignone is one of these men. But how do you turn your dreams into reality? How do you create a legacy beyond life itself? How do you take a canvas wrought by the hand of Mother Nature and frame an even more inspired and powerful landmark within it? Not for money, wealth, or fame, but for the power of art. For Gianfranco, it all began with an airplane ride over the virgin forests of Mexico's Pacific coast in 1968, a flight that instantly became love at first sight. To be sure, a love story can never be fabricated or predicted. A love story just happens with a blink of an eye. And that's what happened when Gianfranco met the paradise, the real love of his life, Corazon. Here he discovered his muse, creating a magical world in a world of magic, spun out of his own imagination and fused into the natural beauty of Mexico's Pacific coast. Here, Gianfranco constructed his own reality, a place where art and nature are cherished, and Mother Earth is asked for its permission to build on her shoulders. Here, he established a legacy for the ages, a new community that merges with the passion and character of its local people, and yet with its own sense of place and purpose. So when the opportunity arose to make Corazon even more magical, Gianfranco was determined to bring all of his vision, knowledge, and experience to bear in order to create something for the ages. January 2004. Here is where we begin a trip inside of a brilliant mind. What for most would be an opportunity to make money was instead for Gianfranco a vision. An old lighthouse had stood at the edge of a magnificent peninsula for decades, and the Mexican Navy decided to remove it because of its poor condition. That's when Brignone had an idea that was not just dazzling, but would require a substantial amount of scientific knowledge and know-how to pull it off. Two projects were taking place in the area simultaneously, clearing the land of the old lighthouse and 1,200 meters away, the excavation of an area known at Teopa Beach as Cabeza de Indio, Indian Head, for Gianfranco's tomb. Each project quickly changed in purpose when Gianfranco had the vision to link them both in a surprising and completely unexpected way. He would create a work of art on an enormous scale, joining Indian Head with the peninsula through the cosmos itself. To be sure, many were involved with both projects, but only Gianfranco knew what they were looking for. However, once the excavation of Indian Head grew in scale, not even Gianfranco knew that he was about to create a third landmark as well. One by one, thousands of rocks of different sizes and shapes were removed and placed along the way, creating a scenic pathway known today as the center of the universe. As the excavation got deeper at Indian Head, a second team with heavy machinery cleared the area where the lighthouse once stood. Only Brignone and architect Jean-Claude Galabert knew what they were about to create.
La tierra, ma la violaron bien. Pienso que el hombre cayó sulla tierra, sin pedir permiso, y cometió la primera violación. Esto es el problema grave del hombre. El hombre se debe dar cuenta que dato que tiene el privilegio de caer sobre la tierra, debe violarla bien. Si la viola bien, la tierra te ama y te protege. Que lo hagan.
At this point, it was time to ask Mother Earth for permission, as always in a ritual together with the Caballeros del Sol de Careas that they always performed before any disturbance to nature around Careas.
Tomamos permiso en frente de los caballeros del sol que podían también ponerse de rodillas, pero si no quieren ponerse de rodillas que no lo hagan, porque seguro que Madre Tierra vale mucho más que nosotros. Pienso también que en estos años perdí muchos amigos de mi edad, gente que quería Careas. Un recuerdo a ellos, Alec Gómez, el Mon Poniatowski, Dado Ruspoli, esto tenía mi edad. Después murieron muchos otros que tenían menos de mí. De todas maneras, ya, pienso que no hay un coco que me llegó en la cabeza. En este caso me dieron el permiso. Pesadísima piedra. 1, 2 y 3. Sí, la fundación.
On October 12, 2005, the groundbreaking began.
Está más o menos, pero pienso que ahí está, voilà. Guarda en silencio tu alma. Estás entrando en Teopan.
Hush thy soul. You are entering Teopan, secret place of the sun god, where the Creator will fuse the divine with man. Soon, the peninsula was buzzing with construction. Thousands of metal reinforcement rods, meshing and fresh cement were fused together to create a solid and impressive base. But for what? Everyone involved was asking, what are we doing? 1,200 meters away, the excavation was almost complete at Indian Head. 2 tunnels were built into the solid calcium and marble stone. The main tunnel is 27 meters long and travels east to west. The smaller tunnel, what today is the entryway, travels south to north. 3 windows were opened in the cave. One faces north with a stunning view of Teopa Beach. Another window faces east. The third and final window faces west, directly 1,200 meters away from the other construction site on the peninsula. And on 2 days of the year, March 20th and September 23rd, when the equinox sun rises and sets, it shines its light in a perfect angle through the tunnel. Still, 2 questions remained in the minds of all the workers. Why was a large block still attached to its foundation, blocking the west side window view? And what was being built where the lighthouse once stood? They didn't have to wait much longer for the answers. Over 470 tons of concrete and metal began to take shape. Soon, the resulting form was on display as the most unique piece that everyone involved could ever imagine. For the first time, people could begin to visualize and understand how deep Gianfranco's mind can travel. It would be called the Copa del Sol, or Cup of the Sun, and it would be huge. Architect Jean-Claude Galabert firmed up the plans for its construction. It would stand 9.99 meters high, span 27 meters in diameter, and sit where the lighthouse once stood. Moreover, it would be placed in such a way so that the sun would appear to set in it from various angles. It would serve as the symbol of women. 1,200 meters away, within the excavated cave at Indian Head, a pyramid would be hand-carved over the course of many months on top of a block of indigenous rock, a piece of Mother Earth herself that would be used as an obelisk. Pyramid would become the symbol of a chained man locked inside a cave, looking out at a small window at the beautiful woman, or the cup.
Non sono la tumba o Teopolis deve avere il sol, non stiamo in Egitto dove non hai una sola ventana. Aquí si deve stare in contatto col sole e col cosmo, se no non sarebbe Teopolis.
These two elements, distant and disparate, would come together and join the light of the cosmos from the days of equinox, around the 20th of March and the 23rd of September, in a work of living art that could be experienced and enjoyed for generations. Gianfranco was looking for information about pyramids and was reading a book about symbolism. In the chapter of the eye, he found the measurements for the pyramidion, the uppermost piece or capstone of an Egyptian pyramid. He learned that the upper angle was 108 degrees, and the angles of the base were 36 degrees each. Additionally, 108 was a multiple of 27, the number that Brignone follows in his life.
2 días después del 4, probablemente el 18 de marzo, al lugar del 22, el 21, el sol va a entrar nella coppa e dalla ventana vai a ver il sole che entra nella coppa e nel quarto va a star, è un quarto, il primo quarto è di 8 metros 10 o 8 metros 10, son todo múltiplos 27 metros, hablamos esto. En el medio de esta sala no hay una pirámide, ma hay un piramidión. El piramidión es la parte alta del obelisco. Sí. Y los grados deben estar a 36 y a 1,08. Y vamos a hacer. Non soy loco, ma mi divierto mucho. No. No, porque inventar una cosa así. Mi hermano, que doveva estar aquí, mi hermano piemontese, muy serio, eccetera, sí. Mi stava dicendo, ma com'è possibile di inventare cose así? Che succedieron. L'arte son impulsioni misteriosas.
It took 9 months of construction to make Gianfranco's vision a reality.
Separada. Frente alla spiaggia di Teopolis.
But when it was finally completed, it was even more spectacular than imagined.
J'offre à Carrez et à Mexique une coupe. J'aurais pu faire un village, j'aurais pu faire les plus belles maisons du monde qui valaient des millions et millions.
Une œuvre très inspirée, conforme à la personnalité de son auteur.
C'est très très émouvant et c'est vraiment quelque chose de divin qui a traversé Gianfranco et qu'il a su concrétiser. Et c'est fascinant.
The union of man and woman by the light of the cosmos that will be part of Carrellas for many generations.